All right, guys. Today we have a top 8 profile. We just had a Nintendo Switch tournament, and I decided to play Yu-Gi-Oh again a little bit. Coming at you with a new deck. I played Dragons for the event at top 8. I actually got fifth place. I went to X1. I lost to Shadal's. I think it was Invoked Eldritch with the Dogmatica package. I'm not sure if it was actually Shadal's or not, but for sure the Dogmatica Eldritch Invoked deck. So we're just gonna get right into it. I played three Rocket Tracer, two Rocket Synchron, one Recharger, two routers. As for like the rocket engine, in a sense, I think you do have to max out on seeing Tracer. I see a lot of people like only playing two of these instead, and just playing 2-2-1-2. But I like having a third. I want to see it. I want to draw it. If I draw it, your hand becomes a little more better. A lot better than it would without having to see it. Then we play three Safers. Um, this card is really good. It's a really good starter, especially comboing with abs. Effect to send, then you get the effect router to add you a tracer or a rocket monster, and that is just really good because you also send cards to grave instead of tributing, and that kind of matters a lot. Also, the second effect to banish to add a level 8 or higher does come up a lot in this deck. Then we have only played two Nocto. I consider bumping this up to three because this just says I get to plus a lot easier with. I get to extend a lot. So Nocto Vision, when you summon a Dark Dragon, you get to special summon it from your hand, and then when it's linked off, you get to draw a card. And then the effect that everybody forgets is that when it's engraved and an opponent targets a spell or trap in your back row, you get to activate this effect and it negates it. So that's kind of insane. Because that really comes up for this when you play your Chamber Tidyings. Some people try to get rid of this card so they can play, but if you have Nocto Vision, it does make them like they can't really force this out unwillingly. And Chamber also being able to summon off of your seals and stuff to add, and then do a lot of combo shenanigans as in using this as an extender is just insane. I really like that card this week. This tourney. Then I played the Chaos package. Played three. Um, these two cards are just like one of the best extenders, especially with Chaos Space, and then having this card just to break boards or loop your opponent's hand or like even summon back a monster. Even though I never used that effect, it could come up, and that card is just insane. It's 3K, and you can also banish Safer and add this back off of another card for my hand traps. Playing the standard Gamma package. This is my second time playing the deck. It was for this tourney. I played in a locals before, then I've just played it for the tourney because I wanted to play something different. Um, I wasn't playing Gamma for the first tourney I played this deck with, but I was playing it for this just because I know there was going to be a lot of like effects that I need to stop, especially resolving Chaos Space and having Gamma is just a free ruler is just insane. And this also being a light is relevant. Then I played Triple Veiler, Triple Ash. Ash is just good if anybody plays or anybody you ran into played in a rogue deck because it does stop a lot of just every deck stuff. And then Veiler we play because it's another light, and Tri Brigade is very relevant right now, and that card is just insanely good against tries. Then we have the starter slash extenders. Chaos Space. This card is insane. Being able to like pitch Router. The best card to pitch off this, in my opinion, is Router. You send Router, you get the Chaos Dragon, Router effect to add Tracer, and then it doesn't matter because you already use it, so you just add the light to banish. And then after you summon the Light Dragon, you can link it off, use Chaos Space to put it back in your deck, and then when you summon after you banish it off the black dragon, and you draw a card and you put it back, so then you can add it back later off the black effect. I did play three triple tactic talents. This card was really good. I don't ever think I want to not play this card in this deck because people try to hand trap Nib, Ash, Veiler, well, no, I guess Imperm doesn't matter, but like Droll, stuff like that, and you just need to dig deeper into your deck. It also help you break boards too. And then I played these the two field spells. You have to play them. Boot Sector comes up a lot when you just have it normal summoned, and it pressures your opponent a lot to know that you still have a normal summon and still have this card. Then you have Ravine. Ravine is really good. It allows you to extend or find combo pieces or extenders to play with. Like if you send Safer, then you send Levianeer, then Safer banish add Levy, or you can send like Tidying or discard Tidying, then send the Chamber, and then Chamber becomes an extender as well. That's just insanely good. Being able to activate Boot and summon two from your hand is really good also, because if you ever have just two of the rockets in your hand, that just becomes another just extender play. I've never used a second effect, but that second effect comes up. I would assume being able to summon up to is kind of wild. And then the one call by the grave, just to help me stop hand traps as well. I think that's 41. Then for my side deck, have to play these two. We really don't use this card for the effect as much anymore, but you just use it sometimes instead of using a Striker Dragon, and you just kind of link it off. And I mean, you can always put it back. You can put both of these back or all your links back off Chaos Space or whatever later. Striker Dragon searches, boot, and then also pops itself or pops a card, and you can add a rocket back to your hand, and that becomes really relevant too when you just need resources. Two of the best links in my opinion. Two of the Heraldic Seals. This card is insane. The favorite card of my extra deck all tournament, hands down. Being able to seal for free and then like force your opponent to nib you, and then you can still play through nib is just insane. You tribute it, then you summon out something like Seyfert or something, then send, discard, summon Chamber gets hiding, then you can just bounce and continue going. And then it's just like, it's super good, especially if you have seal plus tidying is insane. I do actually think like against tries, I want to say that's a FTK. Like they summon a card, even if it doesn't matter if it's cat, any tri brigades. As soon as they summon, you bounce off seal, you summon a card, and then as soon as they use Kura's effective special summon on the summon, you just want to bounce that card back, and then they just have to pass. Then we played the one Romulus gets Ravine. I didn't really notice until the night after the first locals that I played that it had a second effect that you could special summon when a link monster is summoned to the arrow, or a dark link monster is summoned to the arrow. It's not relevant all the time. You don't really use it that much, but it could be. It is a nice extender. We play Quadboro. This card is actually my second favorite outside of Seal. This card, a lot of people, I guess, don't know what it does. You summon it, you discard a card, you can pop a link monster, you can pop your opponent's link monster, you can pop itself, and then you summon back two dragons or two rocket cards. It doesn't lock you into anything, which is the best part of it. Like I used it to pop like silvers, tri-brigade silvers, anything that was in my way, and they didn't like. Even if I played through Nib and I just needed it to, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but like Nib, but there was certain instances where I needed to clear the board so I could kill, and I needed to do it along the way and still get monsters. You just go quad board. I don't know if I play it at 2. Part of me wants me to play it at 2 because this card is just that nuts. Because that's a free rank 3 or 4 just off of one card. So I think that card is insane. Uh, IP, IP. Did I summon it? I summoned it once. I want to say in a tourney. Uh, I made Seal plus IP, and Tidying, and and it's just insane. I mean, you get the Seal. Seal gets the effect to summon. You can make Unicorn or not make Unicorn, and just have this sit here. Because then they have to do something and they try to out it, then you can use your Tidying to bounce the dragon and then bounce their card, and you still have IP for your turn. Or there's times where you have, say, Seal IP, no Tidying, and then you use Seal, bounce itself, summon Chamber, add Tidying, then you IP into Unicorn, and then Unicorn effect pitch Tidying, and then you have follow up for your turn, and you have an extender to go into. The one link card that never came up for me is Triple Burst. I'm not really sure how I feel about this card. Like, I never needed to go into it, and I always played around the link 3 essentially. So this could be something else. I just don't know what I would play. The one other threes, Unicorn for IP. Then my fours, I play 3 of them: Access, Sword, and Appaloosa. This card came up a lot. Not a lot. I used it twice. I made Romulus use Boot, summon out 2, and had one other card, and I was just kind of baiting them to nib me when I did the Romulus play, and they didn't. So most people want to wait until you ruler or after you ruler and then nib you, so they know for sure that that card is gone. But I just went into Appaloosa instead and passed because I didn't have to do anything else after that. You play both of these because they both do come up in different instances. There's instances where access code is enough because you need to pop your way to get through to kill, and then sword is just like, okay, they have one monster like nothing, and this is almost guaranteed as long as you have a 3k other body on the field. So all 3 of these were nice. I never went into this. I only went into these 2. More so Appaloosa than anything. I usually just kill with all my other cards. 3 synchros, Hot Red Chaos, and Savage. There's like combos that people use all 3 of these in the first turn. I don't really like doing that because then you're kind of stuck, and it's easier for your opponent to stop you going forward. You do go into this every chance that you can almost. Ruler just sets up your grave for light and darks and adds you extender or something for another play. Hand traps, you can add Valor or Nib. And yeah, like Savage, I went to turn 2 to 3. It comes up and it's really nice. Hot Red the same. I try to make this if I can, and like it doesn't destroy my economy of my hand. And yeah, those my extra deck. Extra deck. Then my side, I played 2 crossouts. Shout out to Reed for allowing me to borrow one of his crossouts. This card is insane, but not always needed. I get that, like, yes, it's an insane card, but it does make your deck really weird because you do have to play a lot of one-ofs sometimes just to make this card worth playing or siding in. The best use I got out of it this weekend was making board Seal Savage, and I set this and I sided in Dark Ruler going second or going first, but in game 2, and usually people want a Dark Ruler my deck instead of having to use droplets to neg themselves to negate things. So I was just sided into 1 Dark Ruler and 2 of the crossouts, and I just happened to see it. Feels good to cross out a Dark Ruler. Then I played Back Row Hate, 3 twins. Didn't really come up, but they're nice. They will come up because you never know what you're gonna play against. I should probably side a Feather Duster, but I kind of just threw the side together for the tournament. Played 3 dark rulers. This was for any combo deck that went first, or like Dryertrons or anything of that sort. Then we played Droll, also another Dryertron card. Also use it for the crossout because my deck sucks to a Droll. Uh, Nib is Nib. Lancia because Tri Brigade. Actually, all these cards are really good against Tri Brigade, especially Droll. Turn 1, if you draw them and they didn't hard make the or hard draw the trap, you're pretty set to probably kill them next that turn when it gets to you. So that's the list. I do want to make some changes, and I do want to keep playing this deck. I'm interested in this virtual world not Tri Brigade, but Sword Soul. So you're probably gonna see more profiles on that, and like me changing the list a lot, and more videos coming soon, hopefully. Please leave a like in the description, comments, anything. It really does help. Trying to grow the channel. Become more successful streamer. I will start making a little more videos here and there. It's kind of dry right now in Digimon. Our set got pushed back, so here I am. So everybody else have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.